Hi everyone, it's Jeremy here. Apologies for the very large delay in any videos coming from me. Lots changed, moved house, new studio, blue walls, vibraphone, lots of cool things have happened. Finally back on track, and I figured, start of term, I'm just about to start teaching again next week. Probably all you students are about to start your lessons next week, and I figured I might just hit you with a little video about something that's been bothering me. That little technical quirk that I spend a lot of time trying to undo in students, especially students that I've inherited from other people. And that thing is this. Using the fingers way too much, okay? And using them in our general basic stroke, okay? I see a lot of younger students, when they go to play, and they want to make a single stroke, they think they're doing, they sort of go like this. Okay? There's a lot of work involved in that. If I make it hit the drum. I mean, it can feel okay, but the problem with this is, we're thinking too much about these fingers, not about this guy, our wrist. And if you watched any other videos I made, I believe technique all comes from the wrist. This guy, okay? So think about it, if we separate these two items, wrist is this, fingers are here. Now, it just doesn't work that we can use our fingers on our own without the wrist, okay? If I want to use the fingers, I need to get the stick in such a position that it's out from the hand, the fingers are splayed. And if I don't use the wrist, if I hold my wrist still, that's as far as I can get the stick, okay? If you turn your hand over and try and get your stick into a position where it's far away from there without moving your wrist, it's actually impossible, okay? Without some kind of little bump here to get it ready. And then, even to get when the fingers come in, if I don't bring the wrist back down, the stick won't hit the drum, okay? So, there's a lot going on. And if we constantly think about using the fingers for a single stroke, in my opinion, it's just too much work, okay? Take the fingers out and just use the wrist. This works for quite a while. We don't have to think, oh, I've got to play any kind of fast repetitive note. Can you use the fingers? This is still on my wrists. Now, it's hard to tell on a video, it's hard to tell in real life. I'm not using my fingers. It looks like it. This is using my fingers. And this is using my wrist. The reason it's impossible almost to tell the difference when you're looking at it is because they're so intertwined, okay? I'm a fan of the wrist is because it's a bigger joint. There's bigger muscles involved. Think about your fingers. They're small. There's little muscles. It takes a lot of strength. More strength, and especially if you're still not a fully grown human being, your fingers aren't that strong yet. Use the bigger muscle. Okay, it's the wrist. Now the other reason it's hard to tell the difference is because when nice and relaxed, the stick will have a tendency to move a bit, okay? But this is the stick moving the fingers, not the fingers moving the stick, okay? The wrist is what's generating the motion, okay? So, the big test is if you're using the fingers, if you feel you have to be doing this, try and pull the stick out of your hand, or get someone else to do it, okay? Because it's just a sign that you're very tense. There's too much tension in there. And it's going to restrict you. It's going to tire you out. It's going to hurt, okay? If we are just using our wrist, okay, wrist is up, I throw the stick down, I bounce the stick, up it comes. If we're just using the wrist, you should be able to be loose enough that someone could walk along and just pull the stick out of your hand, just like that, okay? So, every time you go to play, look for tension, look for any sort of time you're bending your wrist, you're holding your wrist in an unnatural position. If there's things here that make you feel very tense, if you're really gripping here tight so that these fingers are free to do what you think you should be doing, relax. Get the fingers out of the equation. Get them just comfortably cradling the stick in the hand think about your fulcrum, think about the wrist, and it'll give you much more support, and it makes life much easier, and it's going to help your sound. It'll sound bigger because we're not tense on the stick. It's going to help you not tire out your muscles. It's going to help you not hurt yourself, and it's also going to help your time because it lets you into a much more fluid motion, okay? We're not snapping anymore. We're not snapping with the fingers, just with the wrist. So, think about it, try and apply it to your playing, and happy practicing. Happy term.